Hey guys, welcome back to my channel here at Zeus Gaming UK. It's always good to see people coming back through, so I do appreciate the subscribes that have been coming through. It makes what we're doing here really worthwhile. I said in our last episode that we were going to kind of split it between two to make sure that we didn't run over too much and these videos don't become too long. So without much of an introduction this time, without wasting any time, let's jump straight over to LightStream and follow on from our last episode. Hey guys, so in the last video we spoke about starting to get LightStream set up, and there's a couple of things I want you to check on this page before we go much further. So initially we should see, if you followed the steps from the last video, that your mixer name that you have allocated or chose is now appearing here. Next we have our FPS, our frames per second, and the pixelation or the standard edition higher definition that we're going to be streaming in. It's worth noting at this stage what your upload speeds are, so what your internet connection is like. And down below in the description, I'm going to list something that I really recommend that you try, and that's a speed checker. Now, depending on your speeds is which one of these I would pick. Now, as an example, if you've got quite poor upload speeds, there's no point in trying to stream at 720p 60 frames or 1080p. Because all that's going to happen is there's going to be lots of frames dropped and lots of pauses and stuttering in your stream. The thing that you need to check first of all is actually what your internet connection is like. So I tell you what, I'm going to post that below, but let's just check mine whilst we're here. So here we are over at the website that I would suggest that you use, which is speedtest.net. I've run my speeds and I can see that I'm currently downloading at 43.15 and uploading at 29.37. This takes the average. To be honest with you, the speeds on my download are a little bit slower than what I was expecting. However, I have been doing a lot of work lately to actually ensure I have a stable connection rather than massive high download speeds. I have been working on the upload. So actually to see an upload speed at 30 megs basically a second, that's brilliant. That would enable me to stream at 1080p or even 4K at 60 frames a second. So that's more than enough. What you probably want to know at this stage is that for 1080p you want to be able to upload in between 5 and 6 megabytes a second. For 720p you want to be at least 5 megabytes a second, and then for anything below 720p that's going to want to be between, let's say, 3 to 4 megabytes a second. So your internet speeds are really going to determine what you're able to use. What is needing to be noted at this stage though is bear in mind that there are other things in your household as well as the game you're playing using some of this upload speed. So you do need to do a quick calculation to work out how much of this am I going to dedicate to my stream upload and how much of this do I need to reserve for my game. Can be a little bit complicated, so please, as always, hit me up in any of my Discord, any of my social media channels, and I'm more than happy to guide you through this. Now, back to the overlays and the things that we've been discussing so far. So, as you know, we started on Nerd or Die on our last episode even, sorry. And the reason why we introduced this one to you was because it's what I personally use myself. The overlay and icons and everything that I'm currently using on my stream were downloading from Nerd or Die when I first started. I did pay for one of the premium services, and that was about 24 UK pounds in total, but I'm still using that now. So for me, that has been excellent value for money. Now, what we're going to do here is I am going to show you two things on Go LightStream. I am going to show you how to use a paid overlay like the one that I have, and I will use my existing Zeus one for that you'll see on my channel. And that will include MP4 files, moving stingers, animations, so on and so forth. And it's a little bit more complex to get working. I'm also at this stage going to introduce you to StreamElements, and this is a website that we will most certainly be using predominantly to enable us to show alerts on our stream, such as when a new follower starts following us, when we get embers, when we get sparks, any other interaction that you want to put through. The majority of what we're going to do here is going to come through this site. When you're on this site, you do have an abundance of free overlays. So I would certainly look at these as well and see if there's anything that takes your fancy or you like. What we are going to do for the purpose of this video is download one of these that are free or use them from scratch And then we're going to, like I said, also use the premium one that I have. So you get to see both. So I'm going to start by using one of these free ones. And actually, I quite like the look of this one here. So let's get started with this. When you hit create, it is going to give you a little bit of information about what you can expect this to look like. So here I can see we've got an alert box that I can obviously use when someone sends embers or follows, which is really cool. I've got a camera overlay box here, which I can get all my social medias along the bottom. And it looks like if I kind of come off the screen along the top, it's going to give me my latest followers and so on and so forth. So actually, do you know what? This is quite nice. I quite like this. Bear in mind, this is a completely free package, non-animated. So let's call this, I like to keep things simple. So I'm going to name this my mixer name. Make things nice and simple. And I'm going to hit create overlay. Now at this stage, what we're going to get is all the different URLs and bits and pieces that we are going to potentially need to put in Mixer or LightStream, depending on how we're going to use these. So let's see theme in my overlays. This is going to open up another screen for me here. Fantastic. So these are all of the bits and pieces that I am going to need. And I'm just checking through, making sure everything's there. They are. Brilliant. Let's get started on integrating these into our Mixer and LightStream. Okay, so at this stage, we have all of the screens we're going to be using, and we're going to make sure they're up and running and how we're going to use them. So let's start with this very first one, this edit, or we're going to click on the edit for the starting soon. Now, one of the things I really like about this content is that it's all pre-coded for you. So if someone or an individual is quite new to this, this is amazing. It's so easy to use. Obviously, you're going to want to come down here and just get rid of this here. Let's delete that out. And this would be your opportunity here. But if you've created any of your socials, you can just edit through this menu on the side. And make sure you've got your own personal URL in here so that it links to where you need to go to. If we go through here, you will see that all the coding and everything has already been set up, which is absolutely fantastic. If we want to change any information and put our own personal information here, we can do so. Okay, so we were looking and talking about potentially editing any of these social media handles down the bottom. So let's have a quick look at how we do that, because it is quite simple. What's important is that you don't worry about clicking on here and renaming any of this, because it won't update at all. What you do need to do is just select what you're looking to do, then go on to settings, and you can change the personal message to anything you like. So my Instagram for my official channel is as follows. I don't have one for the Zeus Gaming world, but so just as an example to show how it works, that is exactly what you would do. Really simple, really easy. So you do need to go into the settings to make the change and not actually change the description of what the item is called. Anything we ever change here, we want to ensure that we hit save. Once we've hit saved, it will log all of the updates and everything that we have done. We then want this here, which is your URL or website link. So once we've got that and it's been copied to the clipboard, we're going to head over to LightStream. Now, LightStream is predominantly about third-party integration. So it takes things that you can do on other websites and brings it to life for you here. So by hitting the little plus in the corner, we're going to head down to the third-party integration. And this will list all of the different websites that are supported through LightStream itself. And I'm looking specifically for StreamElements because that's the website that we've just used. Now what I'm going to do is Control V and hit enter, and that's going to bring over the overlay that we have already created. One of the most common things that people tend to do wrong is when they're trying to or attempting to resize this, they will just click and drag. And actually you'll see that this doesn't become any bigger at all. So what you need to do, thanks for your help, mate, but thank you, there we go. And what we need to do here is, let's get it back to how it was before, and you need to hold shift whilst you drag, and that will make sure that when you're resizing, we are getting it exactly how we need to. When you're looking to make minor adjustments, I would ensure that you have clicked on the actual icon or URL or things that we're trying to edit here. You can see by these little dots around the outside, we've got it selected. And then use the keys on your keyboard to make tiny minimal adjustments. These are much more sensitive than what you're able to do with your mouse. So that enables me to get things bang in position. Now, also, you know, I like LightStream and stuff, but I would probably look at taking this out. And I think we have to pay to do that. But I'll have a little play around and I'll see if I can get rid of that in a second. But here we go. That's starting scene screen. Brilliant. So what we've got down here is our scene selection. And this is the first scene that we have created. So what we're going to do here is just rename this down the bottom as starting soon. Okay. Now, whatever you have in this far left-hand corner is what is going to come up first every time you go live. So we want to make sure that's our starting soon screen. So that's going to be our mixer channel, and we're going to do that one very shortly. We are going to, while we're on the other page, add our other scenes in. So let's make a couple of pre-existing ones, and let's get through doing those now. So we'll head back over. This is obviously what was editing before. Or maybe let me just even move that. Let me move that there, and then I'm going to move that there. I'm going to customize that. I'm actually going to take this up here for some reason, and I want this up here as well. Just showing you the customizability at the moment, guys. So what we see is I've made those changes, but if I go back to my LightStream, right here, it's all the same. Okay, because it's been done by a web-based format, any changes that you need to go back and make at a later date, you come back here, you do what you need to do, you hit save. That's not going to generate a new URL or website. It's going to use the existing, pre-existing one that you'd had before. We head back over to LightStream. There we go. The changes have been made. So getting the stuff in, I would say, is the most important thing. So when you're doing this, just get the scenes created, get them in, because you can always go back and adjust and tweak at a later stage. So I'm going to go through following that same kind of format that you've just seen me do and get all of these bits and pieces over. By this stage, you have just followed the steps that you've seen me already do, and you've repeated those a few times. So I now have 4 different slides, which I would probably recommend that that's a good amount for you to start with. My starting soon, my live feed that we're going to get onto in a moment with my information that will populate as and when people activate certain bits of my stream, my webcam box, my be right back when I need to go and get a snack or pop to the toilet. And I'd probably suggest that in here we put a chat box in, and we'll show you how to do that shortly. And then last of all, our stream ending. And again, we can follow the similar content here. So let's find out how we're going to do this live feed bit. And what I need you to do is head over to your mixer page, make sure you're logged in, and you're ready to go over here. Once you've done that, flip back over to LightStream, hit the little cog next to your name, and let the software of Go LightStream know where you're looking to stream to. When you click that, because you've already signed yourself in, it knows who you are talking about, and it's going to ask permission, and you're going to hit approve, that you approve LightStream and Mixer to work in conjunction with one another. Now we're looking at how we're going to stream, or at least show you how we're going to get our live content out to the world. Before we do that, just a couple of real brief steps. So first is first here. So you've got quick scene switch. Hold over the little eye or just one tap, and it will give you a little bit of information about what these mean and say. So I would always recommend you have that on. I have gone away and done a little bit of research, and this logo in the bottom right hand corner can be removed once we actually pay or have a full proper subscription and service here. All you now need to do are 2 further things. So first is a webcam. Now, the next episode that I'm going to go on to is going to talk all about webcams. So you may want to hold fire until that, or you may want to get live and start streaming immediately. If you're going to hold fire, brilliant, okay. And how you would end up adding a camera to this is by clicking on the plus, clicking camera, clicking on the camera above, clicking the little cog here, and then you would select your camera and or separate microphone if you are using one. It won't show for me because the way that my system is set up is that if one program is using my webcam, it won't allow anything else to do so. So I wouldn't be able to select that here. But it would just pop up for you as long as you have your webcam and drivers installed and it's plugged straight into a USB port on the back of your computer. If you think, you know what, I just want to get on streaming and I'm not really bothered about my webcam at the moment, that's completely fine. What I'd suggest though is heading back over to your StreamElements page, heading across to your webcam box, and let's just delete this for the time being. Okay, I would just get rid of all of this, keep it nice and clean. That's all gone. We're going to save that. We're going to head back over to LightStream, and that's completely gone. It's much, much cleaner. So now we are ready to go live. As mentioned, we're always going to start on this page. It may take a second or two to load, and then it's simple as hitting go live. So what this will now do is it will take your start broadcast, or when you click that feature through your Xbox, and that will send that imagery of what you're playing live to Mixer. Go LightStream or LightStream will then take the overlays that you've created and any additional content, and it will send it to Mixer and place that over the top of what you are trying to broadcast. It's actually quite a nice feature and something that's changed ever so slightly from when I last used the program. At this stage, when you then click between your scenes, they will automatically update on your stream. What's quite nice is that you will get, if you saw it, if not, we'll do it again and you'll get to see it again, a little animation that tells you that it's sending to live. So this is my starting scene screen. We go over to our live feed. Here we go. It's broadcasting now. If we wanted to change that to, I don't know, let's be right back. Again, up here, top right, it's updating stream. That's gone live. We head across and that's updated and everyone can now see that. So there is an example of how you would get your mixer up and running, how you would start on LightStream, and how you would get your custom overlays or free overlays uploaded. We have most certainly covered a lot of information in today's episode. We have gone through so much around how to set up your stream, how to finalize bits and pieces, downloading your custom overlays and getting them ready to go live. How exciting. So I'm hoping some of you now are hearing that go live for the very first time and you're enjoying your first stream. You can support me and help grow this channel further by some real simple steps. It'd mean an awful lot if you can hit the subscribe down below. It doesn't cost you a thing, but it helps support me. You can also take a look at my link tree, which you'll see below as well, and that will take you to all my other socials and where you can find me. If you get a chance, I'd love to meet as many of you as possible on my Mixer when I'm streaming live. So please come through, say hello and stop for a chat. Some of the things we've gone through today have been quite tech heavy. So if you do have any questions or there's something you didn't understand, come past my Discord, which is also linked below. There's a technical support section where you can ask any questions you wish, and either myself or one of my mods will come back to you with the answer as promptly and soon as we can. We appreciate how frustrating it can be when you want to know something and you can't quite figure it out. In our next episode, we're going into even more detail using StreamElements. We're going to be using StreamLabs. We're going to do more customization. We're going to be using music and all sorts. So please make sure you tune back in for that. But for the time being, please stay safe. And I look forward to seeing as many of you as possible again in the very near future.